It's time for your favorite game show, Challenge the Clergy.
Welcome to Challenge the Clergy, the game show where there are no right answers, only opinions, because that's Judaism. I'm your host, Seth Front. Today's first question comes from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. If you could meet one person in all of Jewish history, who would it be and why? Let's start the proceedings with Cantor Jackie Raffi.
What a great question and what a difficult question. But the first person that comes to mind to me is Golda Meir, the fourth prime minister of Israel, the only female prime minister of Israel. She was strong-willed, determined, brave, an eloquent spokesperson, and I just look to her as a pillar of strength and a pioneer. Her love of Israel was so inspiring, and I think she was a great diplomat and leader. So I really look up to her as a female leader and as a leader in general.
Is there something like you'd want to ask her, or like a burning question if you were sitting down to some hummus with her?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I think I would. I mean, apart from like just chit-chatting and what's the Yiddish word? Kibitzing?
Kibitzing.
Right. You see, you like that, everybody? It's Persian girls learning Yiddish. So aside from just kibitzing and just like getting to know her and all about her, I think I would like the questions I'd ask her would be along the lines of like, is there a guiding like teaching in Judaism that animates your work?
Very good. All right, let's swing it over to Rabbi Hannah Estrin.
Wow, Cantor Jackie, I love that. I love your answer. I had to chuckle of, would she go for a Jewish answer or an Israeli answer? Like, where would she go with that? The person that came to mind for me, I think, has to be Rabbi Akiva. Going back to post-Second Temple period, the temple has been destroyed and Judaism is morphing into Rabbinic Judaism. And I really feel like we're in this period right now of morphing. But more than that, Rabbi Akiva took the text and he found a whole new layer to it. He was in my mind, the first Adarabba. On the contrary, this is what it means, finding new depth and new breadth and stories and feeling in what the rabbis had only found halachic decisions in before. So I'm going with Rabbi Akiva, a little bit older than Golda Meir.
What's Adarabba, Rabbi Hannah, for those who don't know?
Adarabba means on the contrary. I have a different opinion and I'm going to convince you of why I am right. And that was actually given to me my second semester of rabbinical school by one of my professors when I would come in with the wrong understanding, but I could argue my understanding all the way through the end of the page.
And that's why to this day it is the personal email that Hannah uses.
That's right. Now everybody can email me. Yahoo.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Rabbi Richard Camrus, you're up.
Well, I'm glad I am going last because that gives me lots of time to think about my answer. And one of the things that popped up into my head was this wonderful talk that I heard from Rabbi B'nai Lapp about when master stories crash, and they always do crash. And there are three responses to when a master story crashes, what people do. Some people, they ignore the crash and they kind of stay and hold on to the past. And some people break from that master story and rewrite history and try to become totally different and go in a new direction. And there are few others who try to recreate out of that crash something that holds on to the past, but creates something new for the future. And my person that I want to talk to did just that. And that was also Second Temple period, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. To me, he is the reason why the four of us are sitting here today, and all the people who are watching this Zoom link can say with confidence that we are Jews in the 21st century. Without Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai hiding in the casket, sneaking out of Jerusalem, and turning to the Roman ruler and saying, can I have a tiny little spot of land to create a Beit Midrash? Judaism wouldn't have survived. With the destruction of the temple, 90% of all Jews disappeared into the Roman Empire. A small group, the priests, held on to the past, clinging to it, thinking that their way was the way into the future, even though there was no temple. And a tiny fraction of a group of individuals, led by Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, created the Judaism that we live today. So he's the guy that I want to meet with. And the question that I want to ask him is, what did it feel like to be in that casket when you were being carried out of Jerusalem, knowing the fate of the future of the Jewish people was on your shoulders?
Whew, that's a good one.
Heavy.
Heavy, indeed. Well, now we have a lighter question, which comes from...
Wait, that wasn't the light question? Oh, no.
You can make your answer as heavy as you want. Okay, Bloomfield,
Heavy's not a
Michigan.
bad thing. It's good, deep.
What's one thing they don't teach you in rabbinic or cantorial school? Let's start this one with newly ordained Rabbi Hannah Estrin.
Woo!
Wow. Okay, then. Well, I could say they don't teach you how to deal with COVID-19. But I think there's also, rabbinical school, cantorial school, it's a lot about technicalities. And Judaism is about technicalities, but it's about the people. And it's not so much that they don't teach you that, but we have to go out and be with the people and learn how to be with the people and learn how to meet everybody where they are. I don't know that that's not so heavy, though. So I'm going to go back to the COVID-19.
Rabbi Cameras.
Yes, gosh, Hannah, your answer was a great answer. So to be different, I'm going to say that I am very glad that I was a finance major undergraduate and had absolutely no interest whatsoever in studying or pursuing religious studies or philosophy or theology, because having that background in finance, being able to read a budget and understand financial documents and P&Ls and all of that and speak a language is so important, because while we are in the business of religion and spirituality and Torah and education, it's still in many ways a business. And we have to understand that there is an institution and organizational structure and all of those other kinds of things that rabbinical school really doesn't address. So that is probably my answer.
Okay. And Cantor Jackie, did they teach you how to deal with rabbis? Go ahead.
No, she's had to struggle to learn that on the job.
That's right. No.
That would be
'Cause
another
this is
4
a
more
hard one.
years, I think.
No.
So go ahead.
I would say that any vocational school, any graduate school, I went to law school before cantorial school. There's a lot that cannot be learned in a classroom and needs to be learned on the job. So I'd say it applies to everything. There's many things that you got to be just thrown into the fire to learn. I will say that my program, AJRCA, I love my program. There's a practical rabbinics course, but there's no practical cantoritics course. And I'm stealing that term from Cantor Ron Snow. So I'll just say that I feel very, very blessed to have learned practical cantoritics from Rabbi Cameras and from Cantor Ron Snow and from Rabbi Estrin, from Rabbi Hannah. So the people that I work with, my colleagues and Rabbi Cameras, I've learned so much from. So how's that for dodging the question?
Well done.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. If you have a question, send it to info@stsonline.org. And we'll see you next time on Challenge the Clergy. Good night.